This is Supermonaman's Channel Time Reaction 2 Sora vs. Pig Death Battle. Kingdom Hearts vs. Characters. I'm really anticipating this one because I love Kingdom Hearts a lot. And I think the new the new the, the more recent game for Pit is pretty good. It's really enjoyable actually. So I get like even if okay, I gotta preface this by saying even if I think Sora's gonna lose, I'm gonna say Sora's gonna win. It's like I'll say whether I actually think Sora's gonna win or whether I want Sora to win, but I think Pit's gonna win before like really is the really end of the analysis. Start 3, 2, 1, play.
This episode of Death Battle is brought to you by War Robots, the tactical 6v6 multiplayer game for iOS, Android, and Fire OS.
Seems like if Wiz's love for science and my love for weapons had a baby, wrapped in rich 3D graphics. My favorite bot is Griffin.
Pick up the game and see if it can take us down.
Install War Robots now and get a huge starter pack of the Leo Robot, 1 King weapon, 3 Molot weapons, 100 gold, and 400,000 silver.
Expecting it to be but we kind of lost it for 3D.
If the fate of the universe is at stake, the last person you should trust to save it is a naive teenager with magical weapons they don't understand. But everybody does it anyway.
Like Sora, the Keyblade-wielding savior of Kingdom Hearts.
And it's the Angel Warrior from Kid Icarus.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a
death
battle.
I mean, Sora's
once upon a time, there was a small child who promised
Sora.
And he lived on the one and only Destiny Island. Sora and his friends Riku and Kairi grew up honing their athletic skills by playing sports with Final Fantasy characters who don't judge Sora's fashion choices. Wait a minute, what the hell are Final Fantasy characters doing there?
A hint of things to come. For the longest time, the residents of Destiny Island lived a peaceful life, but it wasn't long until a soulless embodiment of evil would invade the island. This was the Heartless.
But the arrival of these creepy crawlers wasn't the only surprise. Alongside the darkness came light in the form of a Keyblade, which is the key to fixing everything. Super subtle.
This Keyblade in particular was known as the Kingdom Key, and was drawn to Sora thanks to his pure heart. With the Kingdom Key, Sora had the means to combat the Heartless. Well, yes, the Keyblade can get past almost any lock out there. But despite not having a long, sharp edge, it's a surprisingly deadly sword.
It's a key, it's a sword, and it's also a wand. Sora can use it to cast all sorts of magic spells like a wizard. He can even shoot a laser beam all the way to the moon.
Unfortunately, despite his newfound weapons, the Heartless were overwhelming. The darkness washed over Destiny Island, and just like that, he was gone.
But thanks to cosmic reasons, Sora wound up face to face with Goofy and Donald Duck. Yep, he ended up in the most magical place on Earth, Disney.
If you're confused, don't worry.
My friends are my
power.
Somehow,
some way, this impossibility
exists.
Turns out,
my
while
friends
Goofy and Donald have been lovable cartoons for decades, they're also world-hopping warriors.
Oh my god, this is the best thing ever!
Yeah, it is.
Then on, Sora teamed
my friends
up with
my
his friends to lock the doors to the hearts of
my
worlds,
friends are my
saving them from the heartless.
Damn right
wasn't even old enough to get a driver's license.
While Sora may not have been strong
my
enough
friends
to save Destiny Island, he quickly learned an enormous amount of talents perfect for beating back the darkness.
Including some genuine ass-kicking magic,
from
like
Merlin.
shooting fireballs, raising baddies with blizzards, spiting with lightning, and more.
He can reflect projectiles,
awesome.
God,
the drive is so awesome.
He's got a bunch of other attacks, but my favorite is
I
Ragnarok,
love
which fires a bunch of homing
I
energy
love
beams.
Kingdom Hearts.
And I guess he's got some magic abilities that don't involve beating monsters up, which I think is pretty lame. But
Kingdom.
We talk about it.
Thanks to the Kingdom Key sword, he can use spells which remove negative effects, including can also glide like Peter Pan and teleport.
Also, wait. Are you
Sora,
including second chance racer skills? Like, are you including second chance as his skills? Because like,
with all these abilities, Sora battled the Heartless and took the fight to the man who discovered them, Xehanort. He even defeated Xehanort's Heartless and his Nobody.
It's actually Xehanort. It's actually Xehanort, right?
No, see, a Nobody is a somebody without a heart. But a Heartless isn't a somebody or a Nobody, though they may have been a somebody filled with anger. Like Scar from The Lion King.
Well, I'm a somebody that's really confused.
But to save all the
somebody
Sora found he had to be insanely strong,
from
fast,
the
and tough.
He's speedy enough to run up a building and quick enough to dodge magic lightning.
Damn right.
Not just
Hey,
magic
let's
lightning, real legitimate lightning from the sky. A feat which could only take mere milliseconds.
Sora put all that speed to good use once by
he's
perfectly
really
blocking
fast.
hundreds of
I
lasers
also
from
think
damn
Sora
near every
is
angle in
probably
just a
faster
few
than
seconds. So it's
Kurt's
safe to
fast.
say he's no slouch.
As for
Might
his
be
strength,
faster.
not only
Like
has he cut through giant building-like structures with ease,
Actually,
he's launched them as projectiles. Though gravity is
Can
fluxier,
take
a
time
building
to
this size normally weighs around 100,000 pounds.
He's held back two of
and
Cerberus'
sometimes
heads and went toe-to-toe with Hercules. You know, the demigod
So
who
he's
threw a
really
giant
strong.
rock monster
Like,
into space.
Kit has
While
a
this
world
Titan's
has
shape
like
is too
a
inconsistent
giant
to scale. By treating him as a series of cones
giant
of granite, we can estimate his
angel
weight as over 1,600 tons.
That's
well,
like
like
throwing
angels.
200 T-Rexes into the sky. So
Uh,
yeah, Herc is really strong.
I think
and Sora
Sora
can take a hit from him, no problem.
Honestly,
I think
Sora's
Sora's
ability to take a hit
stronger
might
than
be one of his
the
strongest
boss of that
characteristics.
game.
He survived the jaws of Cerberus, ancient Chinese dragons,
So-
being shot by a musket, and, hell, the fires of Hades.
But he isn't without his downfalls. While he's strong in his own right, he relies a lot on his friends. Like, all the goddamn time.
He can't even enter his fancy drive forms, which boost his power and give him an extra Keyblade, without help from Goofy and Donald. So, in a broad scope, he's fairly limited on his own.
Damn
No
it.
big deal, though.
You can't use
Luckily for
limits.
Sora,
That
most locks only
sucks.
need one
Limits
key.
are so cool.
I'm not sure if that was
You
profound
can't use his
or
limits.
just stupid.
You probably can't use his
Well, you're
limits.
stupid.
The heart may be weak,
Although,
and
there's some
sometimes
people too.
it may even give in.
Maybe
But I've learned
them both
that
have
deep
they don't
down
have
there's a
health
light
anymore.
that never goes out.
My friends in my family.
Let us return to the distant past, to an age long ago, when
Wow.
gods and man
So
lived
confusing.
together in harmony.
How long ago
Ted
was this?
Palpatine.
25 years ago.
What?
Anyway, the kingdom of Angel Land was ruled by two goddesses. Palutena, the goddess of light, and Medusa, the goddess of darkness.
Who pretty much treated everyone like crap by turning people into statues
Yeah,
and
it's really
destroying
fucked
their
up,
crops.
honestly.
Oh my god!
Wow. Okay, I mean, it's still a good
Hey,
joke.
what'd you expect from a being who holds the title Goddess of Darkness? She's just doing her job.
Angered by these misdeeds, Palutena transformed Medusa into an ugly, one-eyed, parcel-tongued monster and banished her to the dark underworld.
Talk about throwing shade! Long story
Damn.
short, Medusa waged war with Palutena, who summoned the greatest hero Angel Land has ever known. Hit!
My arrows will stop that Apicus Maximus.
Oh, God.
No,
Not
definitely
that
not
one.
that one. This one.
Fuck that.
hang
It's
on.
like these are
Greatest hero
all
ever?
information.
More like his mom needs to drop him off at elementary school.
Don't let looks fool you. Pitt may seem young,
Oh.
but he is the
Pitt
captain
only
of the
tried
Icarus
five
Army,
since life
keepers of the peace,
changed
and
for
personal
him. Fair
guards
enough,
to
okay.
Lady Palutena herself.
Wait, you're telling me this Cupid-looking kid is the captain of an army? Well, at least he can fly with those wings. Alright, that's pretty
I
cool.
mean, Sora can fly
Actually,
too, so.
he can't.
What? Look, he's
He's
flying right
really
there.
not.
Well, Pitt may have superhuman abilities, but he can't actually fly on his own. Thankfully,
Not
Palutena
Icarus and
regularly
Cupid
grants
Berries,
him
like,
mystic wings, which do allow
Using
flight,
this
though they
or
can only
Kissy
exist
House.
for up to
And
5
he
minutes.
loves
After that, they burst into
hot
flames,
springs.
sending Pitt careening to a horrible end.
Holy shit. So the captain of an angel army doesn't have his
Wow.
own working
Palutena.
angel. That's what you're telling me?
I'm Palutena.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but don't try to bring it up.
She
He's a bit
does.
touchy on the subject.
Like, you're not,
Anyway, Pitt
not
managed
wrong.
to
It's
defeat
her
Medusa, and everyone lived happily ever after. Just kidding,
Shots.
Medusa came back 25 years later, looking better than ever, by the way. And this time, Hades came along to mess things up, too.
As captain of the Icarus Army, Pit has some extensive training under his belt. How else would all these soldiers save Palutena from a sudden invasion of vegetables?
Right. But what's a soldier without his weapons? Pit's got a huge arsenal of weaponry.
He is well known for his archery skills and shows it off with his trusty weapon of choice, the Palutena bow.
This bow uses awesome laser arrows that can actually be guided by Pit. And if his enemies get close, Pit can split the bow into 2 short blades for quick, deadly slices. Now that's a practical weapon.
He is highly skilled with several classes of weapons. His arsenal has been imbued with the strength and power of the gods, making humans incapable of wielding them.
These range from orbitars,
I think Sora's gonna win. I think Sora's gonna win. I'm super wrong.
Hammers, staves, clubs, and weaponized
super wrong, by the way.
Right.
Right.
Anyway, all these weapons were
I
forged by
think
Mentos,
Sora's
the god
faster
of
than
forge. Dintos, the fresh maker.
Dun-
And the guy who also crafted Pit's ultimate weapons, the 3 sacred treasures.
Hidden away in 3 sealed caskets, the sacred treasures consist of Angel Land's mightiest weapons, which can only be used by the most heroic and worthy of heroes.
The mirror shield reflects projectiles. The wings of Pegasus give Pit unrestricted flight and improved speed. And the arrow of light is the ultimate weapon of the gods that can murder basically anything.
The arrow of light is absolutely the deadliest weapon in Pit's arsenal, and increases in power based on Pit's own health and strength. And when all 3 treasures come together, Pit is granted the legendary silver armor.
You that's not silver, it's gold.
Well, colors are different in heaven, I guess.
Weird. Well, Pit's learned several abilities throughout his adventure, like healing, dropping mines, and making his arrows invisible. And all of his skills came in handy. Not only did he defeat Medusa, but he's taken on alien pirates, a space kraken, and the god of death, Thanatos.
At one point when Thanatos attacked a village, he launched a large boulder which Pit obliterated so thoroughly it was completely pulverized in mid-air.
Wait a minute. How are those Trojan horse Star Wars walkie thingies not tipping over?
Focus, Boomstick. Pulverization is defined as reducing an object to dust, which certainly applies here. To determine the force necessary to do so,
Sora's done like that too,
the size
I'm
of
pretty
the
sure
boulder.
Sora's done that
For that,
too,
we'll compare the boulder to those pillars.
Oh, here comes the
so
math.
Sora's
Strap
done
on your pocket
that too, I'm
protectors,
just saying.
nerds.
Thanatos,
No,
when standing
saying
in Pit,
for,
appears
you know,
to be about
saying
11 feet 6
Sora.
inches tall. By comparing his height to the pillars, we've determined them to be 18 feet tall. By comparing that to the boulder, it's clear it has a diameter of 115 inches.
Now Sora's
Pulverize
stronger.
a stone this large, Pit's strike must have outputted energy equal to nearly 1,600 pounds of TNT.
I think Sora's stronger.
Little angel.
I'm wrong, I'm
Dish it
wrong.
out.
Pit's
I'm
also
wrong.
incredibly quick.
Fuck
He was
me,
able to
man.
maneuver, react,
I
and
don't
fly
care.
from the top of these
I don't
clouds
care.
to
I
the
can't-
lunar
I can't-
sanctum in less than 40 seconds.
I can't go
Despite
against
looking
Sora.
like one, that's
Can't go
no
against
moon.
Kingdom Hearts.
It's a space
It's
station,
like it's a
orbiting the
sucker
Earth
game.
at a similar altitude to the
First
International
series,
Space Station. The average distance from the ISS to the highest cloud layers is about 242 miles, meaning Pit must have flown around 21,600 miles per hour.
That's Mach 28. Suck it,
Sometimes,
Starman.
Not only that, Pit dodged a laser which covered this distance in a fraction of a second, most likely moving a little
Oh yeah,
over
that's
90
that's
million miles per
gameplay.
hour.
You can
Oh my god,
can
that not moving
not
thing
dodge
really
that.
is the Death Star.
With Pit's
Pretty much,
superhuman
yeah.
durability, he's tanked hits from gods and taken falls that would turn any normal man into,
An angel?
well,
survive.
a dead man,
Survive
yes. In his final duel with Hades,
eggplant.
the god of the underworld, Pit took a devastating blow that sent him plummeting at least 2,000 feet. Given Pit's weight, the impact of that fall would be over 8 tons of force.
And he was fine! This Hades guy can cut
Sure,
through
that's
giant
a thing,
diamond
so-
spires, so a hit from him could be as powerful as nearly 30 tons of TNT.
Of course,
Okay,
while
so
Pit may be formidable,
really
he's
make
not
this
perfect. He has been tricked into losing
But
fights
yes,
multiple times,
fourth
and
wall
often
orders,
relies
and
on
nothing
assistance
more
from his
than
godly allies.
and that
But
makes
this
it
kick-ass angel isn't afraid to
good.
charge headfirst
Too
into
many
a fight,
people have
even with his wings
too
on
many
fire.
have that.
In the name
To
of
have
the
that
goddess Palutena,
fourth
the
wall
defender of all that
power.
is good. Those who hide in the darkness will be made to face the light.
All right, the combatants are
Oh,
set.
Sora.
Let's end this debate once
Don't
and for
fail
all.
me, Murray.
But first, all this talk about
Don't
sliced
fail me, man.
vegetables has got me craving some heavenly food.
Do it, man. I'm doing a weird for the commercial. Da-da-da.
That's right.
Why if you have some projecting off of plants? They're perfectly the same. They're not insects. Come on, Sora.
By now, you're probably shouting at your screen. Where do I sign up? Well, Blue Apron is treating Death Battle viewers to $30 off your first order if you visit blueapron.com/battle. So check out this week's menu and get your $30 off at blueapron.com/battle. But right now, it's time for a Death Battle!
Come on, Sora. Come on, Sora. You're the chosen one. Of light. Wow.
What he said?
So, whose rear am I kicking this time?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Yeah, you can't do limits. I mean, there's like one or two limits short of the round. Can't do so many limits all at once. Here you go, anti-form. What is going to go anti-form?
Take this! Fire! Whoa! Ha! I've seen candles that are scarier than you.
Fire. Wow, that animation.
To the next level.
Like, who's voicing? Is that Azuka Midoriya's English voice actor? Sure. Missed him.
Whoa! You can teleport? Mind blown. Let's see what you think of this. Whoa! Close shave.
Yeah. Sure, I got all the news. You're right, it's gonna be really supported by. There. You still might have some.
Force. Time to end this. You said it.
He's gonna lose. Oh god. I'm good. I'm glad Sora won, but
Attaboy, Sora!
there's actually that's gonna it's probably good.
Yeah, that's one way to fly too close to the Sora.
Forgotten it.
Pitt may have had the advantage in flight and experience, but he couldn't beat Sora's strength, toughness, and speed.
Pitt may have dodged a laser moving 90 million miles per hour, but Sora's reaction speed was quick enough to dodge natural lightning. A lightning bolt's return stroke, which constitutes the bright flash, moves at around 220 million miles per hour, over twice as fast as Pitt's.
That, combined with his teleporting and time manipulation
Because never
meant
shows-
Sora was just too quick for Pitt to land very many big hits. Plus, when Sora shot that Keyblade beam to the moon, it took 1 1 second
the
flat.
moon.
That's 1.28 times the speed of light. Much faster than anything Pitch
Yeah,
reacted to before.
fair enough.
Of course, Pit
Fair
did
enough,
have enough weapons to keep Sora busy. But Sora's impressive and wide-ranging magical arsenal provided
Sora
multiple counters for
himself
pretty much anything Pit
similar
threw at him, including
yeah,
superior healing techniques.
Hey, remember that building Sora cut
the
through?
guy
Slicing it up like Swiss cheese was impressive enough, but this building was completely made of stone from top to bottom, and Sora cut through 7 at once.
These buildings may have been composed of a modest stone like granite, which has a minimum shearing strength of 14 megapascals. In comparison to Sora's height, each building was about 23 feet tall. By measuring Sora's largest slash and the distance cut through all 7 buildings, we can determine Sora's striking energy to equal, at minimum, 78 tons of TNT.
Damn.
That's way more than Pit's boulder pulverizing feat.
I thought so. I thought so. I got into
Which, let's
the
compare some of the strongest beings Sora
than
and Pit have taken hits from. The amount of energy needed for Hercules to throw that rock titan into space had to have been around 24 megatons of TNT, whereas Hades strikes were equivalent to only 30 tons at best.
So Pit had never survived anything close to Sora's strongest attacks. Just by numbers alone, Sora's strength, speed, and durability just outclassed Pit. And the Keyblade by itself had a way more impressive track record than any of Pit's weapons.
Short
You
time
might
sacrifices.
say it was the
It's
key to this fight. And when we pit them together, one of them was bound to be a Sora loser.
Oh,
The winner
that's
is
fucking
Sora.
damn it. That was 3 points in the same
Thanks for watching. Check out the exclusive commentary
What
on
the
this episode
fuck,
because the box
Chad?
right over there.
And thanks to McLeod Gaming
Who
for
wrote
letting us
that?
use their sprites in this battle.
for you?
Check out their latest
What's
game
for
and
you?
the music used in the battle in the links in the description.
Oh, so heroes and zombies. Oh. Leon versus Frank. Okay. I don't know much of Frank versus games. I know enough about Leon's games. I think there's more Frank that's better, but I can't remember right now. I'm playing Frank. Maybe I start all the feats yet, but that's pretty interesting. Well, it's getting 3D because they have both the 3D games. That's a pretty awesome death album. I'm so glad Sora won. It makes sense why he won too, in my opinion. It makes a lot of fucking sense. That's the end of the video. I just want to thank all my coach drivers and anyone who's watching on Patreon. And I hope you enjoyed the video. You can find the mystery on Twitter. And you can find it support me on Patreon. And also, if you liked the video, please leave a comment. I always appreciate those comments like that. And finally, also, you can find the links to Twitter and Patreon in the description below. And finally, my favorite anime reviewer, Jessica Otaku, and current video game creator, sayonara, bye bye.